Don't forget to like, follow, subscribe, and turn on notifications so that you will receive alerts when there are new episodes. Go get it.
This what I tell them. I've been grinding for so long, I wake up and chase my goals. I go out and I go get it. How to code, that's all I know. I don't succeed, then I don't breathe. Success, what does it mean? If I conquer all my goals, then I'm living out my dream. Dig deep, go out and get it. Success Chronicles. Compete until it's finished. Success Chronicles. Go take care of your business. Success Chronicles. It's deeper than just winning. Success Chronicles.
Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Chip Baker coming to you with another episode of the Success Chronicles. And today we have Mr. Max Borges with us. Great guy. Been blessed and fortunate to achieve some really neat things throughout his life. And I'm so thankful to have him on the Success Chronicles. So first off, thanks for taking the time to interview.
Thank you, Chip. It's a pleasure, honor, and a privilege to be on this podcast.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, let's dive into it. I know we talked a little bit off air about your exciting journey, your story. But if you don't mind, talk a little bit about your life story and track it till now.
Yeah. So, I spent my younger years, not doing very well in school. I was a bad student in high school, barely graduated high school. Then after that, tried one semester of college, but flunked out. I just really couldn't pay attention. It was many, many years later that I learned I had ADD, and that was really the big problem. But a big turning point in my life when I was 19, somebody gave me a book called Success Through a Positive Mental Attitude by Napoleon Hill and Clement Stone. And that really changed the trajectory of my life forever, because what it taught me and what it said in that book is that success is your responsibility. It's your fault. Failure is your fault too. So you can take responsibility for your life, and you can do things that can make you successful if you work hard, if you go out there and you surround yourself with the right people. You find the resources are out there to succeed if you want them. And that was like a big light bulb going off for me. And that then led to me reading more books by Anthony Robbins or Zig Ziglar or Brian Tracy, and autobiographies and business books and just anything I could get my hands on that would teach me about how successful people become successful. And then I just kept trying to apply that, through my life.
Good. So good. It's awesome when we can get on the journey of having that self-growth and self-development. I think one thing too is once you apply some of the principles and see that some of those things work, I think just like you said, I think it becomes like infectious and contagious, if you will.
Yeah, absolutely. And one of the interesting things is and kind of what I realized later is, my parents came from Cuba, and they came in 1961 when Castro took over. And they really literally came over here from Cuba with nothing. Like my dad was 17 years old, and he was sent by his father, who was still in Cuba, to live with an aunt and uncle in Miami. He then moved to New York for a job at a bakery, and that's where he married my mother. And then later became a salesman at Sears, and he was a pretty darn good salesman. And after that, he started selling real estate. But I recently found these 8mm movies of my dad from the 1960s, and I had them digitized. And these movies were of him when he was 21 years old, right? And not too long out of Cuba, didn't even speak English very, very well. But the one thing that really blew me away, and this is how I remember him, is in every video he was wearing a suit. He was dressed for success. And that's how I remember my father. My father was a kind of guy who he didn't make excuses about anything. He didn't make excuses about the fact that he didn't speak good English. He didn't make excuses about the fact that he had lost the ability to live in his homeland, that he didn't have any money, anything like that. He knew that he had to work extra hard to make it happen, and he wanted to be successful. And that was reflected in everything that he did and everything that he acted. And so so for me, I grew up with a father who was a real estate salesman and then became a developer and started building houses and was very successful. And to me, that just seemed fairly normal. I mean, I was proud of him, but that's kind of how I grew up. And so when I was about 19 and I read Success Through a Positive Mental Attitude, for me, that was kind of like a handbook that explained how my father operated. And it just turned a light on. I was like, oh, now I get why my dad is so successful, and I get what I need to do to be successful as well. So it was pretty interesting, but I was very fortunate to have the parents that I did, because they were always very supportive. And the one thing that they know, or you can't do it, or you don't know how to do it, was just not part of the vocabulary. It's like, if you wanted to do it, you just went out and you tried it, and
make it happen.
You did it. And if you didn't have the experience or the education or whatever, it didn't matter. You could figure it out. It's not rocket science. It's not that hard. Almost anything can be kind of simplified, and you can figure out how to do it. And there's always people and resources out there. So that was the environment that I grew up in. And that, the combination of things, having parents like that, getting my hands on the right books, and then just having the attitude of just, hey, I want to succeed. I want to be successful, and by success, I don't mean just making a lot of money, which of course was always a part of it. It was also, having a family and having kids and having friends and having that balance in life where you could go, I've got it all. If you're got a lot of money, but you don't have a happy family, well, then I don't think you're very successful. Or if you have a happy family, but you can't afford to, keep a roof over their head, I don't think you're very successful. But you got to have it all to really be able to claim success.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, what are 3 things you've accomplished in your life that you're proud of?
Well, meeting and marrying my wife is probably number one. Met her about 19 years ago, and we fell in love at first sight, and professed our love to each other after 9 days, and got married 9 months later, and awesome. Haven't looked back since. So, and she's really, inspired me with my current business, which I've had now for 18 years, which is the Max Borges Agency, which is a public relations agency that works with consumer tech companies. And so we do PR for all kinds of cool electronic gadgets. And I started by myself with one client, and today I've got 50 employees and 50 clients. And so it's gone very well, and I consider myself, very, very fortunate. So I guess that would be the second thing. I'm trying to think, what's the third thing that I'm proud of? Well, about 8-10 years ago, I completed a couple of half Ironman triathlons, and that was definitely something that I was proud of, because I had to balance training for triathlon while running my business and keeping my family happy, and giving them the attention that they deserved. So those are 3 things that I'm proud of.
And definitely 3 awesome things to be proud of. Just hearing your story, hearing the things that you're proud of, I would consider that to be hugely successful. So let's hit on success. What is your definition of success?
I think it's really having it all, and I know that varies for everybody, but for me, it's, having enough money that I could take care of my family, that I could have a nice home, I could have a nice car, I could go out to dinner whenever I want. It means, having a beautiful partner in life that I could spend my life with, and that I could share everything with. It's, having beautiful children who are happy and who are successful themselves. It's having, meaningful relationships, friends, and in many cases, those are a lot of my employees are my good friends. Just, being surrounded by love, and Yeah, I think that about sizes it up.
There you go. Well, before we get off, if you don't mind sharing with the audience where they can go follow you and check you out and show you some love with all of the amazing things you have going on.
Absolutely. Well, they can go to maxborgesagency.com. They can also check out a book that I wrote. It's called How to Be Fan-Effing-Tastic, and it's available on Amazon. And the easiest way to find it, because if you type in the title, for some reason it doesn't come up, is just type in Max Borges author. So MAXBORGES author, and the book should come up on Amazon. It's only $5 right now. It's a book of about 120 quotes that hopefully will inspire you to success. They're all quotes that deal with various different success principles that I've learned from people throughout my life and that I've applied to my life to help me be more successful.
That's awesome. Good stuff. So again, I just want to say thanks so much for taking the time to interview with the Success Chronicles, and I wish you continued success.
Thank you, Chip. Pleasure is all mine.
Yes, sir. Well, thank you guys for checking out this episode. We'll see you next time. God bless. Go get it.